Thanks for coming back to Most Amazing Top 10. My name is Danny Burke, and I have to say, guys, well done for getting this far in your life without being killed by an animal. Impressive stuff. You managed to stay away from wolves, snakes and crocodiles long enough to watch this video, so props to you. But I've got news for you. Sometimes animals that look like they wouldn't hurt a fly are actually the ones that could maybe kill you in just a few seconds. To see exactly what you should be looking out for now, let's take a look at our top 10 animals you didn't know were dangerous. Coming in at number 10 is the hippopotamus. Now, because of Disney, I still picture hippos as cute ballerina dancers, but guess what, guys? Unbelievably, they're not. They might look like lumbering herbivores that eat a lot of grass. Well, that's because they are that. But don't be fooled, these things are as scary as any carnivores out there when they want to be. Some people claim they are actually the most dangerous animals in Africa, and figures show they kill thousands of humans every single year. Now, unlike a lot of animals, when they are threatened by a human, they don't really run away. They've never heard of that. They run at humans and attack them. They can reach speeds of 18 miles per hour, which is faster than the average human can run. And when they inevitably catch you, they bite down on you with a force of over 1,800 pounds per square inch. That's about 50% stronger than a grizzly bear bite. What? For our number 9 now, we have chimpanzees. Now, everybody knows that gorillas can be lethal if they want to be. I mean, look at the size of them. They never miss arm day. But chimpanzees, those cute, lanky things that pull funny faces and are humans' closest living relatives, surely not. Surely they couldn't hurt us. Well, they are all of those things, but they can also be very vicious if they feel threatened. The average chimp is thought to be about 6 times as strong as a human, and they won't think twice about using this strength against a human if they get on their bad side. In recent times, one horrific example of this was Travis the chimpanzee. He appeared in TV commercials, could dress and wash himself, and was considered part of the family by his owner, but at age 13, with no warning to this, he attacked the friend of his owner. He ripped off both of her hands and mauled her face. She lost her nose, her eyes, her lips, and most of her facial bones were crushed. Now, investigators think Travis might have attacked her because the woman was holding one of his toys, or it might have been the medication he was on, or it might simply have been a freak accident. But whatever the reason was, it's very clear, under the right circumstances, chimpanzees can be very dangerous. Moving on to our number 8 now, we've got beavers. Now, beavers and humans tend to keep to themselves, not really cross paths too much. Humans build buildings and beavers build dams. They build them though by chewing away at trees with their massive teeth. But as with many things on our list, if a human gets too close, they will quite happily turn those teeth onto the human. Now, if they can chomp their way through 3 foot of solid wood, they will bite through me and you like butter. Trust me, if you don't believe that, you only have to go back to 2013 to find a story about a man on a fishing trip in Belarus who tried to take a picture of a beaver. The beaver bit him on the thigh and severed his main artery, and he bled to death in less than 30 minutes. Now, obviously the beaver didn't aim for the artery, it probably didn't want to kill him, but it just goes to show that even they might not know the strength of their own teeth. Alright, next up at number 7, we have the extremely cute slow loris. Now, are you surprised to know that these guys are dangerous? Good, that's why they're on this list. The slow loris actually has a poisonous elbow. I'm not making that up, that sentence is weird. Now, if you threaten a slow loris enough, it will suck out the venom from its elbow, mix it in its mouth, and then bite you. This toxic bite is said to be so painful that it can cause an extreme allergic reaction that leaves you in an anaphylactic shock. I know, this thing with the cutest face in the world can actually put a human at death's door because it has a poisonous elbow. I think nature must have been pretty bored that day when it came up with the slow loris. Can't even reach mine. Moving on now, we have an animal that looks like Mother Nature just kept hitting random for fun. At number 6, it's the platypus. Now, I know they don't look like mammals with their webbed feet and duck bill, but they are. I know it looks weird, but what's even stranger is that they're one of the only species of mammals to produce venom. Every adult male platypus has a 15mm long pointed spur above both of their back legs. Now, this is what they use to inject their venom into competing males in the mating season, but they won't be afraid to use them against anything that threatens their safety. The venom can kill many smaller creatures, but luckily humans are big and resistant enough that there have been no fatalities from platypus venom. But it does hurt a lot. Now some people have said that it is actually the worst pain they have ever experienced, and I'm gonna trust them on that, and I'm never gonna go near an angry platypus ever again, no matter how much my heart tells me to go for it. Moving on now, if I told you I know something that's over 9 feet tall, weighs 320 pounds and can run at over 45 miles an hour, you might be a little bit intimidated. Well, maybe you should be, because our number 5 is ostriches. They might look like massive mega chickens, but these things will mess you up. If you annoy an ostrich, there's no way you're outrunning it. First of all, when an angry ostrich finally does catch up to you, it will kick its leg out and down with a force of 500 pounds per square inch, and there's a massive nail attached to it. Seriously, look at the size of that thing. If it makes contact with you, the best result you can hope for will be that your insides are just slashed open, and the worst is that it will kill you with one single strike. That has happened. Sometimes people laugh at ostriches as one of the only birds in the world that have wings but can't fly. Ha 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 ha, but I bet you wouldn't say that to their face, otherwise they will just slash your face, so stop laughing. Don't know why I'm laughing. Next up at number 4, it's the buffalo. They look like cows, but don't be fooled. A buffalo is kind of like a wild cow on steroids. They both eat grass, but a buffalo will kick your ass. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. Savannah buffaloes can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and are sometimes referred to as the Black Death due to how dangerous they can be. When a predator gets near, they won't back down, and they aren't afraid to throw their massive weight and 5-foot long horns at whatever is threatening them. There have even been videos posted online of them killing lions. I know, right? Lions, the scary things that kill loads of humans. Yeah, well guess what? Lions are thought to kill about 100 people a year in Africa, and buffaloes are thought to kill twice that. They're actually twice as deadly as lions. Coming up now for our number 3, we've got the leopard seal. Now, far from being the clapping, ball balancing seals you guys think of in circuses or cartoons, leopard seals are actually one of the top predators in the Antarctic and will attack humans under certain circumstances. It is usually a rare occurrence though. Leopard seals usually eat mostly fish or squid, but there have been times when they've sunk their 1-inch teeth into a human. In 2003, a leopard seal dragged a biologist down into the Antarctic waters where she drowned. Now, scientists aren't sure if the seal actually meant to kill the biologist or not, but whether or not it's intentional, it's clear that these things can easily kill a human if they want to. Their only known predator is the killer whale, so humans probably aren't scary at all. Alright, next up now, we've got a creature that isn't big and it isn't strong, and it can fit in your hand, and it moves at an absolute snail's pace. That's because our number 2 is the freshwater snail. Now, you guys are probably aware that the most deadly animal to humans on the planet is the tiny mosquito because of the diseases that it carries. Well, in much the same way, the freshwater snail causes a horrible disease in humans called schistosomiasis. The tiny worm parasites live inside the snails and are expelled into the surrounding freshwater. When humans come into contact with this, it takes just a few seconds for the worms to get through the skin and into the bloodstream. They cause a deadly fever that can paralyze muscles, causes severe diarrhea and vomiting, and ultimately death. The World Health Organization estimates that freshwater snails and their parasites cause the death of 10,000 people a year. I don't even have a joke for that one. That is horrific. These snails are awful. But coming in at number 1 now, we have the giant anteater. Now, as their name suggests, these things tend to feed on tiny little insects, but in many ways, humans could just be seen as a massive insect if they get too close to them. They're usually very solitary and shy creatures, but they can kill people. They have 8 sharp claws as long as your average pocket knife that are usually used to rip apart anthills or termite mounds. Now, they usually do this on all fours, but if they feel threatened by an approaching human, they will turn around, stand up on their back legs, and this will turn them into a 7-foot giant in every sense of the word, and they then use those claws to slash at the unfortunate human. This actually happened to a hunter in Brazil in 2012. He ended up bleeding to death in the forest after the attack. But to be fair, he was sneaking up on the giant anteater with a knife, so it may be a dangerous animal, but you're also kind of asking for it if you do that. Right, guys and girls, remember that most of the animals on this list might be surprisingly dangerous, but only if you get too close and annoy them, kind of like your brother or sister. Now, which one did you not expect to see on the list? Which one was most surprising? For me, I still refuse to believe that hippos aren't secret ballerinas. Thanks as always for watching Most Amazing Top 10. More videos are sitting right over there for you as we speak. My name is Danny Burt. You can find me on Instagram somewhere down there, and I'll see you guys soon.